Moon Knight is currently my most anticipated show of all time, providing that I've watched The Addams Project like this morning. Apart from Multiverse of Madness, because it will be coming far after Moon Knight has been released. Moon Knight is due in 2 weeks, and yesterday Marvel released this 2 weeks countdown. Which really intrigued me, and I was out of ideas, and one subscriber just gisted me with this crazy mad idea of recreating the 2 weeks countdown. Now there's a catch to that. I would have to create the poster before I create the animation for the 2 weeks countdown, which is going to be Yeeks ton of work. Let's jump right into it. Obviously, the first thing I have to do is to create the Moon Knight costume, and as you guys already know, we are going on a very super low budget. All we have is white tape. With the help of the white tape, I just have to mummify my hand. Oh jeez, this really took a whole lot of time, and at the end I had to just go outside and dirty it just to make sure that it doesn't really look clean, because in post-production I'm going to dirty it more. Well, I just had to use my super photography skills. Then I just had to get a prop and let my photographer take all these pictures of me, and at the end I had to pick one and go into Photoshop to start the work. But before that, I then had to unmummify myself, which really took a whole bunch of pain. Then it's now time for post-production. Now the first thing I want to tackle is the sickle. So I just have to model it in Cinema 4D. So first I'm just gonna have to create a spline. Oh my goodness, I cannot create this thing. Oh, so I think there's always a very easy approach to everything. So I'm just going to check online and see what I can find. A model of the sickle or the moon sickle that Moon Knight uses. Gosh, I didn't find any. I definitely have to do this by myself. Sheesh. So in Cinema 4D, I had this idea of creating a spline in the form of an arc, and then creating a kind of a four-sided figure. Then I just had to adjust it, then swept it across. Then I decided to reduce the scale at the end point and then increase the scale at the middle or something. Then I just decided to create the metallic texture. I didn't really have a full view of the Moon Knight something, so I just decided to make sure like I made something rusty at the edges, like a rusty texture, and a whole bunch of things. I just had to render it out in high quality, and then I now had to go into Photoshop again, create a spline or something like a work path of 2. Then I just decided to sweep it again that same way so I can make the metallic 2 something. So now I need to start creating the poster in Photoshop, and for this I had to go onto Production Create to download some grunge assets, right? Because I didn't really have any HD assets inside my PC. Then I just had to do a whole bunch of compositing. I'm not really good at Photoshop. I just had to paint some shadows, add some blood, add some dirt on my hand, and just finish everything up. Just had to take the proportions from the real poster like as a reference, and a whole bunch of other things. So I'm just going to speed this up so you guys can really check it out. bunch of adding shadows and adjustments and the camera raw filter, if I wanted it to end at this point with a poster, I would be getting something like this. Well, since I'm not going for a poster, I'm going for the animated version. I definitely have to export each and every single element as a PNG file. Then I now have to go into After Effects and animate everything. So let's jump right into After Effects. Well, in After Effects, I had to experiment a lot with a whole different other bunch of techniques like the 2D, 3D camera, just normal keyframes and all those things. And I just had to add a new adjustment layer, add some chromatic aberration, a color grade, a whole bunch of things which I'm just going to speed up. I definitely can't explain them. Like, I just can't explain them because I definitely didn't really just know what I was doing. I was just experimenting with whatever would work, and in the end it turned out great. So after a whole bunch of experiments and stunts and all those things, I then just had to add a final color grade like a camera raw filter, add some lens flares from the optical flares and all those things. I just had to adjust my composition to just make everything really pop and add the contrast and everything. Then I just had to render it out and go back into Premiere Pro, add the camera shake which was really intended inside the main video itself. Then I was done. After all these stresses, I present to you the final video. So after the whole process, I guess I landed at the final result, which didn't really go as expected because what I really expected was something more. But if you look at what I used some very low-end resources, and I think I did a great job if you ask me. Well, that's up to you. You can leave your thoughts in the comments, or you can leave any awkward idea that you have for a video in the comments. I guess you can leave your thoughts in the comments, like how the video really went. But if you don't bring down your hand down. Till the next episode, keep realistifying your creative ideas. I hope I see you in my next video. Peace out.